以前有个中国人卖瓜子儿。
以前有个人卖瓜子儿的。以前有个瓜子儿。
以前有个瓜。
以前有。
唉。
So this animation, it's the latest in a long series of animations featuring this little character Quang Quang. This one is a little bit special because it's very short and it's just about one subject. And a number of people try and say there was a guy selling sunflower seeds and then disappear. And it's a very clear reference to the artist Ai Weiwei, who has become very famous internationally in the last few years, and particularly in the last few weeks because he was disappeared or detained by the Chinese authorities. They've done a few videos that are quite political. They became famous amongst at least English-speaking China watchers earlier this year when they did a New Year's and a Chinese New Year's animation, which was showed a bunch of rabbits, little bunnies, rebelling against the tigers who controlled them. All of it was set as the main character Quang Quang's dream, but there were many clear references to various controversial events that have happened in China in 2010, most of which involved abuses by the authorities. Yes, there probably is some reason to be worried. Anybody saying controversial things in China has reason to occasionally have bad dreams because there are a lot of bad things happening. Nonetheless, they are not engaged in any kind of political activity. And the videos that they are making, the controversial ones, including this particular one, disappear off the Chinese internet very, very quickly. And they are not saying anything directly subversive. They're not directly criticizing the central government. So I think they'll probably be okay. But it is a strange time in China, and a lot of people are feeling quite worried. I have not noticed any reaction aside from people I know who know the people who produced them, because it was deleted from Chinese video websites almost as soon as it was uploaded. The censors, who are not government censors, but people who work at the internet companies, the kind of YouTubes of China, are very active and very, they have large teams of people monitoring content. So it didn't last very long. So there has been very little reaction. A tiny handful of people in China have seen it. Absolutely. I think this is definitely a trend. It's been growing for the last 3 or 4 years, where some of the most subversive materials you see online in China are humorous, and they tend to use humor to poke fun at the authorities rather than doing it directly or using polemic essays. And it is in some ways, one of the most acceptable ways of dealing with the inequities of this place is by making jokes. There is a little bit more tolerance for that. Well, I think this is an illustration of the strange paradox that is the internet in China today. Despite being one of the most controlled and censored online environments on the planet, it's also still freest space for self-expression in China. And despite all the controls and despite the crackdown that's been going on recently, it remains a very active and vibrant culture.